Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Firstly, I respectfully have to disagree with Patrick regarding the reserves. The thoughts of this town spending £200,000, £300,000, £400,000, £500,000 on QCs and legal fees horrifies me. I don't think we should be putting reserves aside of that amount, especially at the moment when people are struggling, people are desperate for money, and the thoughts of trying to build up the reserves to that sort of amount, I say, quite frightens me, to be honest. Just moving on now to staffing costs. If I read it right, the proposed budget for 2021 was £200,000. I think we're actually forecasting it to be over £263,000. So that's a £63,000 overspend. And then next year, we're looking at £276,000. I just wonder, Paul, how we've managed to go from 200,000 proposed budget to £276,000.
Sure, Paul. Yeah. Good question as well. Martin, I probably need your help on that one. Could you kind of explain the...
I guess the honest answer to some degree is that the budget was wrong. When you look at what the actual cost was for the forecast staff, it was higher. But that said, there are some things that have happened this year that have caused increasing costs that weren't budgeted. Now, one was a 2.75% national pay increase that was not expected when the budget was set, and the on-costs on that adds roughly about £10,000 to the bill. There was a pension deficit funding, which also was not known about when the budget was set.
Sorry, Martin, I was never top of the class at math. No. But the 2.75% rise on £200,000 certainly doesn't make £10,000. It makes something like 5.5%.
It probably makes about
5.5,000.
About 8,000. You add on 13.8% of national insurance, you add on 23.7% of pension contributions, and you add on some other on-costs on that, it probably comes out about 8,000. So just trying to break it down, that things that weren't in there were the pay increase, the pension deficit funding contributions, about 10,000 that weren't in there. Additional COVID and overtime costs that we've referred to, that there's been a need this year for overtime to be worked, both for COVID but also because of efficiency reasons that happened during the COVID period. That probably adds about £15,000 to the spend. And there's been additional admin support that we brought in. We referred to bringing in an extra person to support the office, the office administration assistant. We had some local support on the Clerk side for a while, which adds about another 13,000. So if you add those up, those unbudgeted extra costs, it's about £45,000 worth of extra cost, which leaves you a gap of about 20,000, which I think is budgeting error. That the original budget should have been 220, not 200.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the explanation, Paul. Martin, sorry.
So, Paul, perhaps I need to come back to you at this point.